And we are actors and actresses. I've become so familiar and accustomed and programmed by this stage because I've been here, if I would allow myself to consider it, all my life. But it's come with its training too, you see. I learned how to say yes, when to say yes, no, when to say no. I was rewarded and punished for things that I did right and things that I did wrong. I learned how to manipulate this stage to serve my purposes that would then allow me to feel sufficiently comfortable to be able to do what I wanted to do. And at the same time, I often failed to realize that I was a slave to what I didn't see. Now, you may think that I'm speaking of the setup of the stage, but in reality, I'm talking to you about what goes on inside of me, and very probably what goes on inside of you. You see, we are slaves to what we don't see because we're blind to it. We operate in our lives under the assumption and belief that what shows up upon our screen is who we are. When the fact of the matter is, if you start paying attention, you're going to come to another realization, and that is there's more to life than the stage. The stage merely presents you the opportunity to act out yourself as you believe yourself to be. But if you start paying attention to the lines that you speak, the actions that you live, you're going to start seeing that there's someone in you who does the same things over and over again, almost by rote. We live by reacting to what appears upon our screen. When we start recognizing that, when we start seeing that, then we cease being blind. It's that, like with Jesus and the blind man who came to him. He was asked how long he'd been that way, and he said, I've been that way since birth. So Jesus put his hands on him and anointed something with the ground and his sputum, and he rubbed it on his eyes, and he said, okay, how do you see now? And he said, well, I see men as sticks walking. So then he repeated it, and he said, now how do you see? He said, I see them like men. A very good illustration as to our own awakening from blindness to actual inner vision. Because you see, when it is that we start recognizing how we have been living on automatic, unconscious reaction behavior, then we begin to open up and see, I am the one who perceives what shows up on the screen. I am not what shows up. And as I realize this, then I find that I become more and more empowered to make changes in the way that I act out my part upon this stage of life. I start seeing the stage of life in an entirely different frame. Whereas before it was limiting and caused me to only act out according to my pre-programmed allowance, to opening up and seeing that there is so much more that exists, and it exists just beyond my current perception. Then you start paying attention to what happens to you. The thoughts you think, the feelings you have, And as you do, you begin to realize they come and they go. They're impermanent. I'm the only thing that's permanent. And then who am I? Well, in the process, then you come up against those things that have really hit you and kept you knuckled down. The main thing you're going to see is fear. Fear. What is the ultimate cause of your fear? Your identification with ego and your attachment to your thoughts and your desires. When you become aware of this, then you come to a place of seeing, I'm not my thoughts, and I'm not my desires. If I make myself subject to them, then I limit myself to the ones that I habitually repeat. I come to a place of seeing that I no longer have to be a slave, whereas before I thought I was a slave, I believed I was a slave to others and everything outside of me. Now I'm starting to realize that my slavery was self-imposed. And so is the path to my liberation. It's by me. It's by my choice. If I can get to that place of recognizing when fear shows up, fear is here, and instead of identifying with, I am afraid or I have fear, you are on the road to liberation. You can come to a place of seeing, if I let whatever is be, then I can come to that place of being present with it. But the caution is here. Don't then jump into creating stories and interpretations about it. That's you taking your ability to act to another level of self-imposition. If you can simply be aware of it instead of saying, oh my God, this is because of so on and so forth. Oh my God, what a victim I am. And you can simply look and see, this is the old programmed behavior that used to govern me and control me, that I took upon myself. I now cast that off. I allow my eyes to be open and my inner vision to see. And in so doing, I come to that place of seeing I am not my fear, any more than I am this coat that I'm wearing. Any more than this voice that I'm speaking through. We come to a place of coming to a much deeper realization and connection with our inner self. Because you see, in reality, we are the ones we've been looking for, as was stated in the sacred moment of meditation. The love vibrations emanating from the illumined beings who have gathered to bless, to heal, to enlighten, to encourage, is a reference to us. We are the illumined beings who have gathered together to bless, to heal, to enlighten, to encourage. Because you see, we are pure consciousness. Suffering is not natural to us. Peace and freedom are. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.